stroke.
I thank the member for Shortland. The question is that the motion be agreed to, and I call the member for Deakin.
Well, thanks very much, Madam Deputy Speaker. It is with some dismay that I rise today to acknowledge that 2016 marks 15 years since the seeds of the Boycott, Divestment and Sanctions campaign, also known as BDS, began against Israel at the World Conference on Racism held in Durban back in 2001. And what passes for left-wing thought in our day and age has never been noted for coherent logic or factual accuracy, and nowhere are these leftist moral and intellectual failings more obvious than on the question of Israel in general and the BDS campaign against the only democracy in the Middle East. The member for Fremantle, who I must say made my day with her recent announcement of her departure from this place, exemplifies the left's noxious intellectual bankruptcy on matters Middle Eastern. By hitching her wagon to the anti-Israel BDS, she exemplified how those who claim the rubric of progressive are actually quite oppressive when it comes to the Jewish people. Madam Deputy Speaker, make no mistake, BDS is nothing more than a declaration of economic war against the Jewish people. And we've all seen that BDS causes anti-Semitic ugliness, and we saw this on the streets in mob-scene blockades of Jewish-owned businesses in Melbourne. And we've also seen BDS in all of its genocidal ugliness when its founder, the Palestinian activist Omar Barghouti, makes clear that the movement will settle for nothing less than the elimination of Israel as we know it. Barghouti makes no bones about his ultimate objective, declaring in 2014, definitely, most definitely, we oppose a Jewish state in any part of Palestine. No Palestinian, rational Palestinian, not a sellout Palestinian, will ever accept a Jewish state in Palestine. So it's clear that all those who support BDS, including the member for Fremantle, would grant the right of national self-determination to the Palestinian people, but they're determined to deny that right to the Jewish people. Support for the BDS program, at the very time we watch the rest of the Middle East sink into the bloody abyss of inter-ethnic and interfaith conflict, can only be explained by two possibilities. Either the member for Fremantle and her BDS buddies are afflicted by a terminal state of delusion, or a more ancient and insidious bigotry lurks beneath their fine words and lofty proclamations. Madam Deputy Speaker, proponents of BDS like to claim that they hold the high moral ground, but their uncritical endorsement of Barghouti and others like him puts them in very dubious company indeed. Indeed, it's a strange bedfellows relationship when feminists and socialists put themselves in league with the Sharia law-advocating jihadi fanatics of Hamas. In fact, just a few days ago in Gaza, a senior Hamas commander, Mahmoud Ishtawi, was tortured and executed because he was gay. According to the New York Times, the Hamas Minister for Defence, and I quote, is harsher than other leaders. He wants his army to be pure. But I guess disagreements over the status of women and gay rights pales by comparison to the fundamental issue that unites the so-called progressive left and the ultra-conservative Sharia-compliant Islamic right, and that's a mutual hatred of the Jewish state. Madam Deputy Speaker, the Palestinian Constitution declares that a future Palestine will be an explicitly ethnic Arab state whose legal code will be founded upon Islamic Sharia law. And Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas has vowed it will be a Jew-free country, declaring, and I quote, "We won't agree to the presence of one Israeli within its borders." So, Madam Deputy Speaker, I'll conclude with a simple observation that BDS is anti-Semitism, pure and simple. It's anti-Semitic because it seeks to deny to the Jewish people the same rights of national self-determination that it supports for the Palestinians. BDS is also anti-Semitic because it supports the cause of a Palestinian state ethnically cleansed of Jews. It's for these reasons that BDS has been categorically rejected by the Australian people who have consigned this movement to the extreme margins of our society.
I thank the member for Deakin.